Dr. Bilski, we've been talking about Veneers, doing a lot of videos on that and all that. And I guess the question is, what could go wrong? Is there anything people have to think? Because it seems very simple. Like, walk in, hey, can I, get them Veneers? And don't you just pick them off the wall and just a little bit of glue and then, oh, do I have that wrong? Is that why I'm not a dentist?
That's why he sits on this side of the table and I sit over here.
But I know you do evaluations and stuff, and I'm wondering what should people be aware of and think about when they want to get a veneer.
So, the end result is somebody wants their smile to look great. But we have 4 principal strategy in our practice. So we're looking at the gum, we're looking at the bone, we're looking at the bite before we get to the 4th, the smile.
Okay.
But most patients want to go to the smile.
Right. They want the end result.
Which is
That's
okay.
natural. Sure.
And we've talked about taking photos, pictures, headshot, and a smiley, and then a close-up smiley with the lips and cheeks out of the way. If you have a bad bite, I would be able to tell you that right away, and then we talk about Invisalign, doing some other things perhaps. If everything looked pretty good, and then the question is like, what could go wrong? Typically, we don't get to that point, but not paying attention to the bite would be the reason.
Okay.
Not evaluating the gums would be the reason. Not looking at the bone structure would be another reason. And then the 4th part, getting to the end result, the smile. If everything in those first 3, gum, bones, and bite were good, we can do something there's 2 ways. I can do an in-office, it's called a test drive. So very much like you said, scrap something off the wall and glue it. They have those. I will tell you that is like the worst thing to do.
What, really? You just stick something on?
What we do, it's called a mock-up. I take this little plastic thing, roll it up, put it on your, and then I form it. So what we do is take the picture before, then I put the 3 on the left, say, to the shape that mathematically we figure out, and we do the white line template. Gives me an idea where we should start. And I take another picture, and I show it to you. And I give you the mirror. And then you cover the right side, and you smile, and then you smile so you can see that.
Yeah.
And if that looks pretty good, we can do the other 3, and it takes about 5 to 10 minutes per tooth. So if we're doing 6, and I'm pretty quick at this stuff, so we can usually do this within 45 minutes.
Okay.
Unless, we're talking and, if I know Randy, we
blah, 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 blah.
We can never get to what we're supposed to be doing. But, and it gives you an idea what it looks like. Now, when we do that, it's not to make it look like it would be when it's a finished porcelain product. Sure. It is to get you to see what it looks like.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. You could walk out of here. So we typically save those for the afternoon appointments after lunch. So you've already eaten. They're not bonded on. They're cured, meaning hardened on. And you could go home, show your wife, your buddies, your brothers, your sisters, your mom, your dad, best friends. I don't care who you show it to. Or not say anything and see if they notice. But there's usually a dramatic difference. Yeah. And most of the time people like what we place on there. What they usually delay on is the cost of it, which is understandable, but at least you have moved forward on that, okay? So that would be a test drive.
Okay.
All right. Complimentary. You don't get charged for it. So understand though, I want you come in to do that with the intention of doing something, because we have a busy practice and we dedicate those spaces.
So at Halloween I can't come in and go, I need some really long acrylic fangs or something like that.
Especially you. We're not even taking your appointment.
Forget it.
The other option would be if you want to do it, but you have trepidation, like I don't know, maybe it's prepless, maybe non-drilling, meaning, or maybe we have to prepare your teeth a little bit, reshape them. It's called a preview. And a preview is the mock-up is done in the laboratory, dental laboratory, and then they make this preview stent. It looks like a football mouth guard, and we can fill it with the acrylic, place it over your teeth, and within 3 minutes, the acrylic bonds across the front, say 6 teeth.
Wow, yeah.
Now we can do that provided that your teeth aren't sticking outside of your lip buck teeth.
Yeah, okay.
A tooth that's out of position, because we can't keep it's called arch form, the pretty, when you smile. So there are some patients we cannot do that with or for, but we certainly can do the test drive. Where I'm going with this is the preview would be incorporated with, doctor, I'm going to do the veneers, but I really need to see it before you touch my teeth.
Yeah. Okay.
And we do that, and there's a fee associated with that is removed from the total treatment costs. So you're not paying for something and then getting charged again.
Yeah, gotcha.
So those patients do very well. And the reason why we would do that is I make my measurements. We do our white line. We do our photos. I think it looks fabulous. And we put it in, and maybe it just is a little bit too long in your brain. It's the teeth, it just doesn't look right. So I can adjust those in your mouth with a little polishing wheel.
Wow. Wow.
To the point where you're like, yes, that's exactly what I want.
Wow.
Then we take a picture of that, and then we take the scanning that we do intraorally, meaning a camera goes in your mouth on this preview, send it back to the laboratory with the measurements. I have a digital caliper that I can measure every tooth, and then we put that into what's called the laboratory prescription. And then when it comes back, I measure everything out. And
pretty neat.
Yeah, then there's no guesswork.
I was going to say, you feel absolutely confident that you do want this new look in your teeth.
And the only thing that could go wrong, I think that was a question we had earlier, is that maybe the color is too white.
Well.
Okay, so we send it back. The color gets altered, and that's an easy thing.
Okay.
Or they're too dark. They go back again. Happens hardly ever. The only time that would happen is if we're doing a single tooth. The color's just
because it's got to match everything else.
It's just a little bit. It's the hardest thing to do in dentistry. Front smiley tooth, one tooth, trying to match everything else.
Who knew?
37 years it took me to learn it. So.
Yeah, well, veneers, anything like that? How about this guy here?
Come on in.
Yeah.